My name is Karen, and I'm 33 years old. I have a wonderful family of 3, my husband William, who is the same age, and our 3-year-old daughter, Evelyn. William comes from an affluent and well-educated family that runs a successful tutoring center. Both of his parents were teachers, and William himself holds a teaching license. Sometimes, I find it hard to believe that I'm part of such a distinguished family. Initially, my parents and friends were concerned about how I'd fit in, but those worries quickly faded. They're genuinely good people, despite my athletic background, which is quite different from theirs. My in-laws welcomed me with open arms. My mother-in-law, in particular, was thrilled to have a daughter. Although I was nervous at first, my cheerful and lively nature helped me to build a strong bond with them. Professionally, I'm a certified arborist, specializing in tree health assessments, pruning, planting, relocation, and consulting. Earning my certification required a lot of hard work, and the job itself is physically demanding. It requires both mental acuity and physical strength, and I've always taken good care of my health to meet those demands. William, who now tutors at the family center, used to be an elementary school teacher. We first met when I visited the school where he worked to discuss the care of the trees on campus. After giving birth to Evelyn, I took some time off and only returned to work last year. With our daughter still being so young, I prioritize my family, and I'm fortunate to have a supportive workplace. However, there are times when I can't make it in time to pick her up. On those occasions, my mother-in-law steps in to help, and William pitches in whenever he can. I truly appreciate the support and have been living a fulfilling life. But there was one person who disrupted my happiness, my sister-in-law, Sarah, who is married to William's older brother, Richard. William is the second oldest of 3 brothers. The youngest is still single. Sarah, who mostly manages the accounting and administrative tasks at the tutoring center, is a housewife and mother to a 5-year-old boy, whom she seems keen on getting into a prestigious private elementary school. From the moment I first met Sarah at my in-laws' house, I could tell she was different, petite, always impeccably dressed, with perfectly styled hair. She seemed like the picture of sophistication. I admired her outward poise, but it didn't take long for me to realize that she had 2 faces. One day, while we were helping my mother-in-law in the kitchen, my impression of her completely changed. My mother-in-law had just stepped out when Sarah suddenly turned to me with a sharp look. "Can't you do something about your appearance?" I was taken aback. "What do you mean? You're always wearing clothes that look worn out and dirty. Don't you realize you stand out in the worst way? It's embarrassing." "Well, I find these clothes comfortable, and I have to chase after my daughter all the time. I have a child too, you know," she sighed, clearly irritated, before quickly reverting to her sweet demeanor as my mother-in-law returned. "What were you 2 talking about?" my mother-in-law asked. "Oh, just about raising kids," Sarah replied with a smile, her tone completely different. It amazed me how she could change her voice in an instant, as if she had a sensor that activated when my mother-in-law was near. My mother-in-law glanced at me, as if to ask if that was true, and I nodded. Though I wasn't intimidated by Sarah, I couldn't just brush off her sarcasm either. I didn't want to burden my mother-in-law with my concerns, so I tried to let it go. But Sarah continued to undermine me whenever we crossed paths. Once, while I was on a work errand, I ran into Sarah, who was chatting with a couple of her mom friends. I greeted her politely, but I could tell she wasn't pleased. Later that night, she called me at home. "What were you thinking?" she snapped, her tone aggressive from the start. "Excuse me, what are you talking about?" "Earlier today. Don't ever approach me in public dressed like that again. Your work outfit was a disgrace. I can't believe you'd go out looking like that. Didn't you see us? You should know better than to show up like that around people who are preparing their kids for private school entrance exams. We live in a different world from you, and you embarrassed me." She continued her tirade, making it clear that her issue wasn't just with my clothes, but with me as a person. "Well, I was working, so I was in my work clothes," I explained. "I don't care about that, just don't approach me when we meet outside, okay? It's embarrassing." "But isn't that a bit odd? We're family, after all." "That's exactly what I've been trying to tell you. You don't fit in with the family. To be honest, I've never considered you a real sister-in-law." With that, she abruptly hung up, leaving me in shock. Her call felt like a deliberate attempt to vent her frustrations. She often complained about me at family gatherings, but she only reveals her true feelings when we're alone. She prides herself on being fashionable and high-class, which is fine, but her need to belittle me simply because I don't match her standards is baffling. Yes, she always dresses elegantly and flaunts accessories, but why the need for so many? I wonder if her quiet husband, my brother-in-law, even knows about this side of her. It's just who she is. I kept this to myself from my brother-in-law and mother-in-law, but I did share it with William as it was becoming stressful. Huh, that doesn't sound like her, he said, dismissing it at first. A few days later, my mother-in-law called with details about a family dinner for my father-in-law's upcoming birthday. She usually doesn't interfere with her son's households but insists on family gatherings for special occasions like birthdays, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. This time, it was to celebrate my father-in-law's birthday, and we had reserved a private room at his favorite steakhouse. It's our first time going there as a family, but it's a fantastic place. I hope you're looking forward to it, she said. Oh, I am, thank you, I replied, genuinely excited, though I couldn't help but dread seeing Sarah again. You don't sound very enthusiastic. Is work keeping you busy? Oh, no, I'm fine, I quickly reassured her. Uh-oh, did my voice give me away? I thought, feeling a bit guilty. Karen, if there's anything bothering you, please let me know, okay? We're managing just fine. Even when work runs late, you help us out. I really appreciate everything you do. It's not about your family, she said, leaving me puzzled. The weekend arrived, and so did the dinner party for my father-in-law's birthday, a chance to show our appreciation. Determined not to let Sarah's negativity affect me, I arrived early at the restaurant. When I walked into the private room, I was relieved to find that my father-in-law, mother-in-law, and brother-in-law hadn't arrived yet. I had come early to avoid keeping my father-in-law waiting and to minimize my time with Sarah. However, my brother-in-law and Sarah arrived just after me. Hello. Hi, Karen, Richard, good to see you. After exchanging greetings, William and Richard started chatting. Sarah, however, immediately approached me, scrutinizing my outfit with a critical eye. What are you wearing? For such a nice restaurant, you could have dressed up a bit more. How many times do I have to tell you? The familiar, demeaning comments began, this time in a lower, more insidious tone. Is this really the time or place for this? I forced a tight smile, trying to stay calm. I chose this dress with the occasion in mind. Do you think it's inappropriate? I mean, it's not from a high-end brand or anything. It's surprising you'd show up in such a cheap outfit, and with your broad shoulders. The dress doesn't suit you at all. Your accessories are just a wedding ring. You never wear nail polish, and your hands look rough. I can't wear nail polish for my job. It would be impractical with all the woodworking and gardening I do. My hands get rough because of my work and household chores, but I take pride in them. They reflect my hard work. I couldn't hold back. What do you mean? Are you implying I don't do housework? My retort seemed to make her even angrier. Her voice grew louder. I can't stand you. I've tried to be helpful, but you never listen. It's unbearable to be associated with someone as unrefined as you. I realized my sister-in-law was losing control of her emotions and the situation. Today is a celebration for my father-in-law. Please don't ruin it. What? You're the one ruining everything. You don't belong in this family. I can't dine with someone as shabby as you. Just go home. Wait, what? I have to leave. This dinner was organized by my mother-in-law. If anyone is ruining it, it's clearly her. I'll deal with your complaints later, but right now, I decided to stand my ground. Not now. Don't talk back to me, didn't you hear me? I said, go home. Actually, leave this family. As my husband began to approach, alarmed by Sarah's loud outburst, the door to the private room opened. The one who should leave is you. My mother-in-law entered with a calm yet firm demeanor. My father-in-law and their youngest son, John, followed, and my mother-in-law closed the door behind them. What? Sarah's anger faltered as she realized who had just walked in. Her surprise was evident as she stammered. What's going on? Everyone, please take your seats, my mother-in-law said softly but with an authoritative tone that compelled everyone to comply. It seems we need to have a discussion before we can enjoy the birthday celebration. I apologize for this interruption. Seeing my father-in-law nod in agreement, my mother-in-law turned her attention to Sarah. Sarah, what did you say to Karen? Even my usually gentle mother-in-law could be sharply sarcastic when needed. Sarah, flustered, replied, oh, I was just saying I'm looking forward to the meal. Did I misunderstand? I thought I heard you say, get out. Huh, no, it was just a minor argument. I was joking, Sarah said, trying to regain her usual cheerful demeanor despite her agitation. A joke? It seemed like you were the one doing all the talking. Have you been treating Karen like this all along? It was clear my mother-in-law had overheard everything from the door. Bullying? I wasn't bullying her. I was just offering advice on manners and dress, given my role in this family. That didn't come across as advice. Everyone should be free to dress as they like, as long as it's respectful. Karen wasn't dressed inappropriately. But her non-branded clothes and minimal accessories. Enough. My mother-in-law's sharp tone made both me and Sarah jump. The three brothers and my father-in-law, familiar with her temper, calmly distracted the children with picture books. No, Sarah, you're the one who should be embarrassed, I said firmly. I've noticed something was off about you during our gatherings. At first, I thought you were just having friendly chats. Friendly? Sarah's look of desperation was starkly different from her usual demeanor, but I avoided her gaze. For the record, Karen never complained about you. She hoped your behavior would improve with time, but it only seemed to get worse. Well, Sarah stammered, but my mother-in-law's tone grew even sharper. And you always dress beautifully, with so many purses. Yes, that's true. I always make sure to look presentable wherever I go, Sarah replied, trying to regain her composure. Where does the money for all that come from? Just as Sarah thought she might regain control, my mother-in-law's unexpected question left her speechless. That is, of course, from We pay you for helping with tuition and accounting at the tutoring center. Even if my son said you could use that money as you please, it doesn't seem sufficient for all the designer clothes and purses you own. Oh, well, because. Are you using your role in managing the household finances to indulge your own desires? What do you mean? Sarah stuttered. I understood her confusion. I had wondered about their finances myself. I had always seen my brother-in-law as generous, perhaps too trusting in leaving the financial management to Sarah. It was troubling to think he might not keep a close eye on their spending. In a way, I almost felt sorry for him. So, you've been spending money freely, and now you want to send your child to a private school, my mother-in-law continued. You've been saving for that, right? What? You're not expecting us to cover the costs, are you? No, not at all, but he's your adorable grandchild. Which is it? So, she had been planning to rely on my father-in-law and mother-in-law's money all along. Of course, we love our grandchildren, my mother-in-law said. We're willing to support them financially if needed, but only after you leave our home. What? No, there's no need for that. I'll apologize to Karen for asking her to leave. Karen, it was the first time she addressed me by name. You will forgive me, right? We're sisters, after all. Sisters only while you're married to my brother-in-law. My mother-in-law looked at me, indicating that I should continue. Even if it's official, I don't consider you family. I don't think of you as a sister. Sarah was caught off guard, making a distressed noise. And that's not all. You've also been dipping into the funds from the tutoring center. Sarah's face went pale, and she was left speechless. Is that true? I asked, genuinely surprised by my mother-in-law's revelation. I had suspected Sarah might misuse household money, but I hadn't anticipated she would touch the funds from the tutoring center my in-laws operate. You were clever enough to avoid detection for a while, but it eventually came to light. Even Bob, who has managed our accounts for years, was deceived by you. Sarah's face drained of color. You were buying gifts like baskets for our suppliers, thanking teachers, and organizing seminars, all under your charge. The receipts kept piling up. You made excuses that these were for birthday presents or requests from me or my son. No, that's not. What do you mean not? You bought more than just gift baskets, passing off other items as gifts. This sort of thing never happened before, and Bob trusted you. You told him you were taking part-time lecturers to lunch, but you were actually dining and socializing with your friends. The increasing number of suspicious receipts finally led Bob to come to us. Even before that, my son had started investigating after noticing irregularities. What? You've betrayed the trust of everyone who wanted to believe in you. It seems maintaining your image is more important to you than anything else. It's not me. Sarah's pleas for help from my brother-in-law went unanswered as he looked at her coldly. If what's being said is true, I can't fault him for his reaction. Karen, on the other hand, is different. She might not be into fashion, but she always puts family and work first. Her dedication as a certified arborist is admirable. I'm sure she worked hard for her qualifications. As Sarah stood there, silent and defeated, my mother-in-law turned to speak about me. I felt a tearful warmth rise in my eyes. I respect her for believing that if she wanted to continue working, we should support her. Have you ever seen her work tirelessly, without caring if her clothes get dirty or her hands become calloused, and you have the audacity to mock her? Tears welled up in my eyes as Sarah remained silent, unable to offer any excuses. She simply lowered her head in shame. Our tutoring center might not be as large as major corporations, but we value our teachers and students, and we've earned their trust through our commitment to each individual's needs. What matters most is the people and the relationships we build. You are the one who doesn't belong here. You are the one who needs to leave. My mother-in-law, with her clear and decisive stance, was truly remarkable. After the truth about Sarah's embezzlement came out, she was compelled to leave the family she had tried so hard to impress. Despite my brother-in-law's attempts to discuss things rationally, Sarah refused to admit her wrongs and reacted with anger. Ultimately, she was served with divorce papers and, stripped of any compensation due to the revealed embezzlement, found herself with nothing left. My brother-in-law will retain custody of their son, and with support from my father-in-law and mother-in-law, they will ensure he continues to have a stable life. Sarah, who often put her own needs first, had a strained relationship with her son when things didn't go her way. However, the young boy, comforted by his father and grandparents, seemed reassured by their promises. Although Sarah had wanted him to attend a private school, he wasn't keen on the pressure and now enjoys spending time playing with our daughter. Of course, my husband and I are committed to helping however we can. One relaxed afternoon at my in-laws' house, my mother-in-law approached me. I'm really sorry for the discomfort Sarah caused you. We should have noticed it sooner. Not at all. I wasn't very bothered at first, I replied. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to let us know, she said sincerely. Thank you, I responded, reflecting on her words. What's important is people and hearts. Noticing my gaze, my mother-in-law looked at me curiously. It's nothing, I was just thinking how amazing you are. Thank you, but the real credit goes to you for creating such beautiful gardens. Perhaps I'll ask you for help with our flower bed next time. Absolutely, I'd be delighted to help, even if it's just for fun. Just let me know, she said warmly. You should charge her. Mom can be quite particular, my husband joked, and we all laughed together. Value people, cherish hearts. It's a sentiment I'll always remember. I look forward to more moments of joy and laughter with my cherished family in the future.